Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about how to save $1,000 fast in this episode of The Rachel Cruze Show. So saving $1,000 is the first step that you're going to take in our 7 baby steps plan. So this is our proven plan to help you get out of debt and build wealth and really just get control of your money. So baby step 1 is $1,000 emergency fund. 2 is get out of debt. 3 is your large fully funded emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. Baby step 4 is funding 15% of your income into retirement. 5 is saving for kids' college. 6 is paying off the house. And 7 is to build wealth and be extremely generous. So again, this plan is proven. It's what we teach on. And so that very first step is that starter emergency fund. So those of you out there that are thinking, okay, I feel out of control with my money. I don't know what's going on. I feel like I just live paycheck to paycheck. I need to do something. Well, this is your first step, that $1,000 emergency fund. And this is really the buffer between you and life. Because when something happens, whether something breaks on your car, your kid has to go to the doctor unexpectedly, your house, has a plumbing issue or an HVAC issue or something happens, you need cash. And the goal for that is that you are using your money for that emergency fund. Because think about it, if you have an issue with your car and you have no money saved and you have to go and swipe the credit card to fix it, well, not only do you have a car problem, now you have a money problem. The car gets fixed, but now you still have another problem, which is the money, because you're, deeper in debt. So the idea is that you are using your money to be your emergency fund, not the credit card. Now, this step I will tell you, it's the easiest baby step because it's $1,000. Now, I understand $1,000 is a lot, but you can do this. Like, we're gonna walk through steps on how to get $1,000 quickly. But the idea is that you're gonna do this so fast, so urgently to get it started. So you can do this. You can save that $1,000. So it's easy because it's that, and it's easy to understand. It's $1,000. You can do it. But this is the hardest step because what you're saying is that you are going to engage in this process that you have never engaged in before. You're gonna be doing something different with your money, which means you're gonna have change. Change in your life, and change is difficult. Change is hard for everyone, right? We are so comfortable in what we know and what's predictable. I mean, think about it. You usually drive the same way to work every day. You usually sit in the same place at church every Sunday. Like, you just like your normal routine. And once that shifts and something different is happening, it feels weird. It feels uncomfortable. So I'm just preparing you. That's why this step can be the hardest step, because you're going to engage in change. But the great thing is what you're changing to is better than your present. Because if you're sitting there again, paycheck to paycheck, stressed out, freaked out, losing sleep, don't know where your money's going, and you think, I have to do something different. What you're changing to, even though it's uncomfortable, is going to a better life financially. So embrace it. It's gonna be great. And the awesome step is, like, once you finish this step, $1,000 saved. It's pretty great, because chances are life's gonna happen and you're gonna need that emergency fund. And that's what's a little bit defeating about this as well, because man, you get that $1,000 and then you start working your way out of debt, and then something happens and you gotta use the emergency fund. And it's a beautiful thing because it's there, but also it can be kind of hard because you have to start back over and pause getting out of debt to build up that $1,000. But that's okay, that's okay. So if you're watching this video, maybe you're starting this whole process, maybe you have started, but you're back to baby step 1 because something happened, we're all good. We're all good. That is what that emergency fund is there for. So this really is how you stop living paycheck to paycheck and live life with an intentional mindset around your money. So baby step 1, $1,000. So how do you get it? Well, we got 25 ways to help you build up that emergency fund. Are you ready? So exciting. Number 1, a budget. You knew I was gonna say that, I know. But the budget it's amazing, because once you do it, this is the easiest place to start cutting stuff out, because you're gonna see it on paper and you're gonna say, okay, good. We're not going out to eat. All that restaurant money, it's gonna go to the emergency fund. We're not gonna go shopping this month. We're gonna cut that out. That's gonna go to the emergency fund. You're gonna start to see that $1,000 start to build up by just cutting things out of your everyday spending that you don't even know you're spending. So that's the best way to do it. Next, I would say, go return items that you just got on sale. Let's say that, you bought something and you were like, man, I don't know if I need it, but it's on sale, so I'm just gonna buy it. Yeah, you probably didn't need it. The price tag's still on it. Take it back. Also, don't buy a lot of new groceries. So if you're planning out your dinners, go ahead and look what's in your pantry, what's in your refrigerator. It's amazing. Just a couple of things can come together for a meal that's already there, and you don't have to buy the food for it because you got it right there, and that will save you so much money. And so eating out of your freezer and your pantry, it's a great way to live, and again, saves a lot of money in the food budget. Now, I did an article on 9 pantry meals you can make, so I'll put that link in the show notes, or you can just Google Rachel Cruze pantry meals, and hopefully that'll give you some good ideas. Okay, when you're going to work, see if you can carpool with someone. Saving money on gas is huge, especially if you have a really long commute. If you're driving, 20, 30, 45 minutes to work one way, just having someone that you can split that time with, you will save so much money on gas. If you can bike to work, if you can use public transportation, all of that. Some of you, if you live in a city and you could just walk to work, you probably are walking anyways, and that's great. But like anywhere you can save money when you're going to work is huge. Okay, turning off lights. I'm terrible at this, y'all. This is not a good habit of mine. I just leave lights on all the time. But it is amazing how your bill goes up. You see, you're like, oh my gosh, if we're not in the room, we're gonna turn off the light. Turn off the light. It's these little things you can do that, again, may not save you like thousands of dollars a month, but it's gonna save you a little bit here or there, and that's where you can start to really gain traction towards that $1,000. Also, adjust the thermostat in your house. So if it's winter, maybe you make it a little colder and you can save on heat. If it's summer, maybe you keep it a little warmer and save on the AC. Or if you go out of town, turn it off or adjust it, right? Like Winston's really great at this. Like if we leave and we come back, it's like 76 in our house. And I'm like, he's like, sorry, I forgot to turn the AC on the app on my phone before we got home. But that way, if you're not home, it's great. You can save money that way. Also, unsubscribe from emails when it comes to your favorite stores. This is a tricky one. I always have to do this because you're not thinking about buying something and then you go and, oh, look, you open up your Gmail and there's 8 different emails with 8 different sales of 8 different stores you've shopped at. And you're like, oh man, well, I guess I'll just click and click and click and click and I'm buying, I might realize I'm doing it. So don't even have the temptation, unsubscribe. Okay, the other one is skip coffee, you guys. Skip it out. Don't buy coffee out. Make it at home. It is so much cheaper. So much cheaper. And you just make coffee at home versus going through the drive-thru and buying a cup. So I know it's not as exciting. It may not even taste exactly like what you want. But listen, you can make some great coffee at home, okay? Save you some few extra bucks per day for some of you by just doing this. Also, pack your lunch. So if you're going into an office, or if you're home with the kids, don't go out to eat. Like eat at home, especially for lunch. One of my love languages, you all know, is pizza. Love pizza. Had it twice this past weekend. It's so good. But when you're saving money for your $1,000 emergency funds, buy it at the store. Just buy it at the store. Even like at Costco or Sam's, you can get multiple frozen pizzas in one thing versus delivery. If you get delivery, you're paying extra, you're having to tip. There's a lot of extra dollars that go out on that with pizza, so just buy it at the store. Also, sell some stuff online. I have an upcoming episode detailing exactly how you can make more money selling things online. So this is a great way to make extra cash. Donate plasma. Yep, I did the math. I think you can make close to $500 a month by just doing this, doing it twice a week. Hey, get that $1,000 in 30 days. You're halfway there if you just donate some plasma. It's amazing. Amazing how much cash you can get for that. Today, we're talking about things we need to stop wasting $20 on. Baby shoes. They're babies. They're not walking around. Don't buy shoes for them. Lottery tickets. Yeah, the Powerball jackpot. You got 1 in 292 million chances of winning, so don't waste your money. An Olaf waffle maker. I mean, pretty dang cute. I know. And the results? Adorable, but let it go. Wipe warmers. Yeah, the baby's gonna survive. Keep your $20. Clothes for your pets. I mean, super cute, fabulous, bougie, all the things, but you don't need to spend $20 on it. Guys, these things are totally unnecessary. What I do need to make sure I'm taking care of are these guys. I remember when Winston and I first got married and we talked about life insurance. Honestly, it was easy for us to talk about because we wanted to keep each other covered in case the worst were to ever happen. That's why we have term life insurance through Xander Insurance. It's $20 to $30 a month that I am more than happy to spend. Xander shops the top-rated term life insurance companies to make sure that they find you the best rates for the coverage that your family needs. You can have the same peace of mind that we have. So go to Xander.com to get started today. Don't waste any more time. Also, ask if you can work more hours or work overtime. Just work extra, you guys. Get an extra job if you have to. It's amazing by just working extra, even at your current job, how you can make some extra money. Also, do some odd jobs with apps like Rover, so you can walk dogs. Shipt, you can do grocery delivery. Waiter or DoorDash is restaurant delivery. There's so many great apps out there that you can make extra money, especially at night, by just delivering food. It's an amazing thing, or even walking dogs and making extra money. Also, cancel any paid app subscriptions that are on your phone. Get rid of them. This stuff just sneaks up. It's amazing. Even subscriptions like on the TV. We were trying to watch something. What was it? Oh, the Paw Patrol movie. Paw Patrol. I thought, sure, kids. I was gonna spend a little bit, order Paw Patrol. Well, you have to get it on Paramount Plus. Who knew that was even a thing? I didn't know there was a thing called Paramount Plus. I was like, what? And then it was, the yearly and the monthly, and it was like $4.99. I thought, no, this is crazy. And then I tried just to go buy it on Apple, and it was pre-order, so it's the only way you could watch it, but I didn't do it. I stood my ground. I was like, no, we're not getting another subscription. It's not worth it, no, because there's so many. So go and look at your bank statement, because you may have so many subscriptions that you're paying for that you don't even realize or that you've forgotten about, okay? So cancel those, that'll save you some money. Also, wait 24 hours before you make a big purchase. If there's something big you guys are planning on buying and you see it and you want it, just wait. Just wait, sleep on it. It's an amazing thing. If you just let the emotions die down over one night's sleep, you wake up the next day and you're like, man, that urgency, that like adrenaline rush of wanting to get something, it's gone. It's gone after 24 hours. And so it really does logically help you understand if you still need that thing, and if you don't buy it, that's money that you've saved. Next is use cash. This is a thing we talk about a lot on the show, but honestly, especially if you're on baby step 1, this is a great thing to do, because when you actually spend with cash, you end up statistically spending less. So it's a great accountability to stay in your budget. And again, letting that leave, those dollar bills leave, it's just so much harder versus just swiping. So use cash where you can. Next is have a yard sale. I still love this. I still love driving down the road and you see yard sale and you're like, yes. You can go look and you can sell so much stuff. So go, have a yard sale. People still show up and you can make some extra cash that way. Next is to set up automatic deposits into your savings account from each paycheck. So just put a little automatic savings that no matter what, there's gonna be some money going into a savings account that you're not even having to physically do yourself, right? It's just automatically is going. All right, next, look around for change in your house. And what do I mean by change? Not the change we were talking about earlier, people. No, like the coins. It's amazing. I don't know if y'all have this. We have like this little bag in our junk drawer that, if stuff happens or it's mostly Winston. He like has this in his pocket and he'll just throw it in. And I'm like, you could easily have like $70 of just quarters and nickels and dimes in this little thing. Like it's crazy how much change we have. So look around for that. If your kids have some stashed away, like gather it all. Oh, take them from your kids. You could take from your kids. It makes me a little sad, but we're trying to get that $1,000, people. Find whatever coins you can. Cash it in, so yes, some money towards that $1,000. Also, look to see if you are up for a raise. Do some research. Go online and see market value of your position at your job and see if you are a little bit underpaid. And if you are, go to your leader, go to HR and say, hey, this is what I'm seeing, because they could bump up, even just a little bit can go a long way for that $1,000. Also, start couponing. Couponing is great. I mean, then there's so many ways to do it now because there's apps. There's so many other options just in the classic idea of just cutting coupons, right? Like out of the newspaper that we used to do in the 80s and 90s. There are so many other companies, apps, so many things when it goes to this. So if you're going to make a purchase, look for a coupon, especially online. Next is to adjust your tax withholding at work so that you have more money in each paycheck. And I would recommend doing this because a lot of people get a tax refund at the end of the year. And so that means that you're sending more money to the IRS that needs to be sent. So maybe if you pull back a little bit, you won't have a big refund and more money will be in your paycheck. Also, reduce your cell phone bill. Lots of ways to do this. I did a video with George Camel on this one subject because there are so many ways to cut your cell phone bill. And you can save a lot of money because, man, it's something that if you don't look into it, it just reoccurs and you don't think much about it, but go look and see where you can cut. And last but not least, look at your insurance. Everything from auto, life, house, like look at all of the insurance you pay out, because usually you're doing it once a quarter or once a year. And if you've been doing it for years and years and years and years and you never looked, there could be much cheaper plans, and this could save you a lot of money. So look into that. All right, 25 things, you guys, to help you get $1,000 fast. So all of this, it's gonna take discipline. It's gonna take some of that change we were talking about. It's gonna be uncomfortable, but it's amazing when you actually start to gather up money and you see, wow, especially some of you that you have no savings, you have absolutely no savings, and the idea of having $1,000 feels impossible. But you start getting a little bit at a time and you think, I can do this. I can do this. It is so empowering. It's amazing. Now, also remember, when you're getting that extra money, put it in a savings account. Don't just keep it in your checking because you'll probably end up spending it, okay? So we're saving this money to be on the side. Now, some of you have shared your emergency fund victories with me at the official Rachel Cruze Show community on Facebook, and I'm just so proud of you guys. I love hearing your stories, like Paula Joy, who said, thankfully, she had an emergency fund to fall back on during the pandemic. She was sick and was out of work for 2 weeks, and her job would only pay for 1 week. But she didn't sweat it because she had her emergency fund. Shelly said, thank goodness she had $1,000 in savings because both of her cars went into the shop in the last 2 months. Ugh, that hurts. Liz said she and her husband used their emergency fund on a new dishwasher after the back of their dishwasher caught on fire. Hopefully you kept it contained and got a new dishwasher. That's so scary. Okay, I want to know from you all how you saved your $1,000 starter emergency fund, because a lot of people, they're watching these videos and they're looking for ideas. So leave your stories in the comments, because again, it encourages me because I just love hearing it, but also people out there, because we are all doing this together, you guys. We're locking arms. We're walking this journey together. So I hope that all of this helps. I hope that this gives you encouragement to know that you can do this. You can start a new process and really take that first big step of saving $1,000 for your starter emergency fund and starting a process where you really can take control of your money and create a life you love.